What's up, fellow ammo seekers? I wanted to do a quick movie review of some of my favorite SHTF movies. The weather's going to be bad tomorrow in Houston and probably some other parts of the US. These are just a few of my suggestions. If you haven't seen them, you should definitely watch them, except for this first one. The first movie on this list is called The Road. It stars Viggo Mortensen and Charlize Theron, sort of, and some kid. Um, I didn't like this movie. It's a post-apocalyptic movie. Something happened. The whole world's on fire. Almost everything alive is dead. All the animals are dead. There's only a few people out there. And halfway through this movie, I was hoping the kid would get knocked off. He was so annoying. The movie to me was depressing, kind of boring, and there was no real excitement. So gray and dull. A lot of people like this movie. I've seen it a couple times. I don't like it. So I do not recommend The Road. Charlize Theron is only in it for a few minutes and her time was wasted. I mean, it was just, for me, it was just a dull, boring movie. The next movie on this list is called Right at Your Door. A friend suggested this movie to me, and I had it written down for a few weeks, and I finally got around to seeing it last year. And man, it just blows you away. It's written and directed by a guy named Chris Gorak. He's done a bunch of small films. The acting was really well done, super convincing. But the movie feels like a low budget, almost like a docudrama. Real fast camera angles, fast. It's a fast paced movie, and the gist of it is there's a dirty bomb that goes off in L.A. and this guy has to make a lot of life and death decisions on, trying to get to his wife. His little journey around the city, where you see how these government officials, the police officers, how they're acting, how people are just panicking. Nobody knows what's going on. Out of all of these movies, this one feels the most real, the most plausible, like it could happen. So I highly recommend it. Definitely gets a 9 out of 10 in my book. Again, Right at Your Door. I think it might be on Netflix at the moment. I'm not sure. If not, Google it, find it, buy it. You won't regret it. It's a pretty good flick. The next movie we have on this list is one of my personal favorites. It's called Panic in Year Zero. This movie is really, really good. It came out in like 1962, 1963, and it was directed, and the lead actor was a guy named Ray Milland. It's about a family that goes on a camping trip, but after a dirty bomb goes off in Los Angeles, their week camping trip turns into a little bit longer of a stay. This movie really reinforces the fact that you have to be first to respond. You have to be first to make these decisions. And the way the lead character jumps into action without really upsetting his family at first because he knows what's going on, it shows just how important the first few hours are in a disaster situation. If you're not ready, you better get ready. I can't recommend this movie enough. It's 10 out of 10 for me. Even though it's an old movie shot in black and white, the way the family deals with the adversity without giving anything away, it's just a great movie. You got to see it. Absolutely 100%. The next movie I have on my personal favorite list is called Red Dawn. If you haven't seen it, where have you been? I don't know. It's a phenomenal movie, and it's packed with like real heavy hitter actors for their day, like Jennifer Grey, Leah Thompson, Charlie Sheen, Patrick Swayze. Rest in peace, Patrick Swayze. I mean, this movie, I watched it so many times growing up. It made just a huge impact on me. Every time I see those parachutes over the high school in the beginning of the movie, it just gives me the chills. The movie is fast paced. It has a really good story. There's not too many dull moments. I really can't recommend this movie enough. I mean, if you haven't seen it in a while, watch it again. And not too long ago, they did a remake. Um, The remake wasn't too bad. I enjoyed that too. It had a lot of good acting in it. Chris Hemsworth really pulled it out. It was really a solid movie. I enjoyed it. Of course, it's not as good as the original, but what remake really is? And last but not least is I Am Legend, starring Will Smith. You can't have a SHTF list without this movie. I know it's not very plausible. You know, a virus created in a lab released on the public. I mean, that would never happen. So, this movie is set in New York, and it's about a doctor, Krypton, who makes a cure for all diseases. And then it just gets out of hand. Uh, Everyone's affected. Almost everyone is dead, or they turn into these zombie vampires. And Will Smith is a virologist in the city, and it's his job. Well, it's not really his job, but he feels obligated to stay behind and work on a cure to try and fix Dr. Kripke's mistake. This movie, when I first saw it, it was pretty freaky. I'm not a big zombie movie guy, but I thought it was just really cool. The way he scrounges in the daytime, you know, looking for preps. The way he hunkers down at night, tries to erase his scent and his smell from the area. And he had to erase his scent because the zombie vampires, they can, when they come out at night, they can smell him, and they are fast. And you find out over the course of the movie, they're pretty smart. And you know, they start setting up traps for him, and without going into any specific detail, they're just a lot smarter than they first appear in the beginning of the flick. So you got to watch out for them. It freaked me out. It was something that could happen, but I don't know. I mean, it felt like this movie could actually happen, but not really. And I think that's what made the movie kind of scary. This movie was directed by Francis Lawrence, who previously had done Constantine with Keanu Reeves, so I was kind of familiar with his name. And then he went on after this movie, I Am Legend, to do The Hunger Games. And then after you watch this movie and you watch The Hunger Games, the chase scenes feel a little bit more intense. You know, it's very similar directing style. And I'm in no way a film expert. I just watch a ton of movies. These are just a few of my SHTF movies I really enjoyed. If you have movies that you also like, please comment below and let me know, and I'd love to watch them. I'm a huge movie buff, so any kind of suggestion, I'll always watch. I know I get a lot of grief for not liking The Road, but I've seen that movie 4 times, and I like it less and less and less every time I watch it. Some people say, oh, you don't get it. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I just don't like it. It's a boring movie to me. So take care, guys. You have a safe and wonderful day. Till next time.